sea life, or its infinite size, or how dark it is, or how much we truly don't know about it, or its capability of
Oh,
devastation.
I see what you mean.
Or its
My
grip on
bad.
human
I
life.
apologize.
One thing has and will always hold true. The ocean is fucking horrifying.
I
It's
absolutely
an
will,
unforgiving
Sin.
frontier harboring
Have
some
a good
of
night,
the
bud.
most harrowing life and environmental enigmas on the planet.
Okay, that was 6.
It is and always will be one of life's great mysteries. An entire world we share, yet know so little about. The vast majority of the
7.
planet, yet completely uninhabitable by mankind. Throughout history, it's been said that the moment you enter the ocean,
8.
you enter the food chain. Yet, contrary to how it is on land, in their world, in their vast
9.
abyss of darkness, humankind is nowhere near the top.
10. 11. 12. And then join. I don't know what that word is. Thanatophobia or whatever it is. I really don't know. I'm an idiot and I apologize. I don't really have that. Unless it also is used to describe like just infinity and also space, in which case then I do have it. Thalassophobia, is that what it is? Third notification. Yeah, I had to restart the stream because I misunderstood what Kool-Aid was saying to me. So I didn't have to. I did because I thought that it was frozen. But it was the YouTube video that we're watching. 1. Wait, that was 2, 3. Thalassophobia is more specific to large body of water type abyss, I think. Okay. Yeah, I definitely don't have that. 7. 8. 9. 10. 11.
In mid-2018, 29-year-old Grant was unemployed, living
12.
rent-free in his parents' guest house in the rural village of Chuliota, Florida. He had not once lived on his own, and had recently been kicked out of an anesthesiology school for lack of attendance, and also fired from a job as a
13.
nurse for stealing medication. It was around that time when he decided to experiment with a relatively new realm of online cam sites. These platforms differ from regular porn sites in that they are
14.
interactive. Instead of watching a pre-recorded video, users can solicit live performances from models in exchange for money.
15.
This allows individuals to watch whatever acts they want, but at a price. Using his
no,
brother's
Florida
credit card,
man.
he browsed through multiple cam models, spending an average of 20 minutes on each one. Yet it was on the 5th of June when forensics discovered he came in contact with a performer who went by the stage name of Sylvie. And over the following 6 months, Grant would spend over $200,000 of his family's money on this one model. The entirety of his father's father's life savings that he had saved up from working as a pharmacist for over 30 years was gone. He had spent $60,000 from his brother's credit card and had also taken a $65,000 loan out on the house. When his family found out, instead of calling the police, Grant was sent to a behavioral rehabilitation facility for online porn addiction.
The more we try to run from shame, the stronger it becomes.
When Grant got back from rehab on January 4th, his father presented him with a 2-page list of rules he was required to follow if he wanted to continue living at home.
I do
One of the
definitely want to
conditions was
increase
that
it
he
one
cease
more
all
row.
communication with Sylvia immediately.
So it's just
but
a
it took
little
just
bit
3
bigger.
weeks for the family to discover that he had broken the contract and reestablished
I can't
contact
imagine
with
spending
Amato
that much
via
money,
Twitter.
especially
On
when it's not
January
mine.
24th,
Yeah.
when Chad Amato got home from work,
I don't think he was all the
reportedly
way
confronted
there.
Grant
You know
over
what I
his
mean? I don't think that
disregard,
he
and
really
the two of them
had
got into a heated
a
argument, which almost
sense
turned into a
of
physical
what he was
altercation.
doing
Grant
as
was
much,
then kicked
like the
out of
consequences
house,
of his
and
actions.
for the first time in his life, he was on his own. Shortly before 9 a.m. the next morning, police received a call from Cody Amato's girlfriend, alerting them that he had failed to show up to work that morning and hadn't responded to multiple phone calls. They arrived at the residence at 9:17 a.m., and once knocks on the front
Titus
door
Fucks
went
are going
unanswered,
back
they were
to
able to
sleep
gain
now.
access
Okay,
with a
see you
knife
later.
via
Have a
the
good one.
back
Thanks for
entrance.
stopping in.
Chad, Margaret, and Cody Amato were all found lying dead on the floor with gunshot wounds to the head from a 9mm handgun. Grant became the immediate prime suspect, as a witness statement from Cody's girlfriend advised police of the confrontation that had occurred the night before, as well as the collection of bizarre circumstances that had led to that point. He was traced to a hotel in Orlando.
Is the camera shaking?
You're being
Hello?
cooperative, sir. We appreciate that. Some Seminole County detectives want to talk to you, so we're going to get the handcuffs off of you.
Nothing in your pants, correct?
It's just a normal routine. When we
Why is
encounter
everything
someone, we want to make
shaking?
sure you're safe. Now we know you don't have any weapons. We'll get those restraints off of you. We're confident you've been cooperative. Everything's good.
You guys
so we
see
appreciate
that,
very
right?
much. Goes a long ways.
It'll probably
He
help
immediately
when
agreed to
I'm
accompany
moving my
him to the
hands.
police station and sit down for an interview. Reports stated that he wasn't made aware of his family's demise, nor was he advised as to what the purpose of the interview was for. Grant himself didn't once inquire, just reportedly sat silent in
Why
the
is
back
that
seat of an
happening?
unmarked police car, staring out the window for the entire journey to the police station.
Did you know why?
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
That's like infuriating. What the fuck?
So you got to walk through coke or anything?
No. I'll hold off on that. Then.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Eva.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm here.
Just to restate, he has not
But
been
it's-
told,
my
nor
cam
given any
isn't
insinuation as
attached
to why he
to
was sitting
my-
inside an
my,
interrogation room, and has not once
My
inquired
desk.
himself.
There's a
Hey,
shelf
we really appreciate you coming
on the
up with
wall
us.
above
And,
my desk.
yeah, anytime
that
during
it's
this, you
attached
stop in
to.
the bathroom, want a drink,
Snacks.
saying just let me know and we'll be happy to get you.
Okay.
My name is Danny Anderson, and I'm a deputy Seminole County Sheriff's Officer.
Okay, so now we have to do 1,
The
2
investigator's
increase.
initial plan is to establish a friendly connection with the suspect, which can often be a highly effective tactical procedure to elicit a more detailed discourse. Yet on this occasion, something seems to get lost in the endeavor, which you'll just have to see for yourself when the time comes. This is one of the most fascinatingly aggravating interrogations to ever be released into the public domain.
So we just
And
want to
we'll
talk a
end
little
on
bit
24
and get this in, out,
to-
be on our way.
Okay.
Okay. Full name.
My full name is Grant Tiernan Amato.
3.
What is there any special nursing degree? What you do or?
I mean, I have like other certifications.
Uh-huh.
But I mean, with that, like I primarily work.
Freak
in the
Canadian
hospital
earthquake,
for,
maybe.
I think 5 years, 5 or 6 years. Well, I was accused of grand theft of the third degree back in
5.
June of 2018. There was no evidence ever presented. All the charges were dropped.
Mhm.
I had been applying for jobs for the last couple weeks. I'd gotten like 3 or 4 callbacks,
Mhm.
and then I went on a job interview yesterday for a home
7.
infusion nurse job.
What time was your interview yesterday?
It was scheduled for 10. I got there at around 9 in the
Okay.
morning.
8.
And then I think we actually had the interview at about 9:45.
How'd that go?
I mean, it was all good. They didn't have anything. They said that they'd probably be getting back to me by Tuesday or Thursday
Okay.
this coming week.
Get you back to work?
Yeah, because, I mean, like, it's a crappy world when, you know, you don't have any money, you
Sure.
can't do anything, so.
Financially, how's the nursing what you did? I'm sorry, I just don't know that much. Or she knows a lot more about nursing. The nursing, how does it pay?
11?
How does it pay?
I mean, if you work your standard 12 hours a week, you get anywhere between, I'd say, $45,000 and $55,000 a year. So, I mean, it's not bad. I think my best year, I made like $55,000.
55.
Because I rarely worked overtime.
Right.
You know, when I was just, because I had the whole plan of going to graduate school, so I was just kind of using it as a stepping stone
Right.
for that time.
Just to pay the bills to
Right.
get you where you gotta. Gotcha.
Um,
And what you're going for, what does that pay?
Nurse anesthesia pays,
14.
I mean, base like about 150 up to 175.
Okay. High school, where'd you go?
15.
I went to Timber Creek.
How were your grades?
High school and the first 2 years of college, I was A, B, C.
16.
You know, I was in honors in the major program for UCF.
Girlfriends.
Girlfriends, I had
17.
like my high school sweetheart girlfriend for about 5 years, and then ever since then, no like official girlfriends, no flings or anything like that.
Dates here and there.
Dates occasionally, but I mean not really. Kind of focused on like just getting through the life goals that you know I wanted to achieve.
What do you like to do?
What do I like to do? I like to watch anime.
What is it? I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry.
I don't know what it is.
I mean,
I thought you said MMA. I'm like, okay, and then when you started explaining to it,
I mean,
I
I guess
heard it. I'm like, no.
it's animated. It's like cartoons, I guess you could say, but it's Japanese cartoons. It is in Japanese, and then they subtitle it. Yeah.
You speak Japanese?
I was gonna say, do you understand?
I don't. I understand a few words. We actually just went to me, my brother, and one of my friends, or I guess friends from high school. We went to Japan.
How long have you been out of work?
24.
I've been out of work for 6
Life
months
goals,
this year.
watching anime, true.
A lot of money to be out of work.
My brother.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but are you gonna kill? I don't even know if you have
I think the only other
siblings,
game we
but are
really
you gonna
played
kill all your
was
siblings and your
Fortnite,
parents
But then that was starting to get to like.
to achieve that
Yeah.
goal?
Kids are all over it.
And actually, yeah, during the time that I was that I wasn't working as a nurse, I tried to do the whole Twitch streaming thing.
What is that?
Um,
I'm sorry.
No.
We're
It's,
kind of older. You have to
Hey.
explain a lot of this to us.
with Twitch, it's you got your mic and then you have your face cam, and then basically people are just watching you play whatever game you're going to say that you're playing.
Okay.
On virtual reality, it was primarily just Beat Saber, so it's like a rhythm-based game, like Guitar Hero.
If I had a
Apart from
cam girl
that,
crush and I was
we
clinically
really didn't get
insane,
into too many other games. Yeah, 'cause
no.
we kinda just
So
focused on
you're
Beat
trying to
Saber.
tell
But I think we
me
had
that
downloaded a
if
few other
I
just, like,
got you in the
going through, like,
DMs,
the world, you can interact
and I
with
was
the
like,
world
I'll
and
take
stuff like
off my clothes
so you
for
want to talk about Cody?
Oh, yeah.
265,000
Yeah,
of your
Cody,
family's
Cody.
money.
He is. I'm the youngest.
All you
one.
have
I'm
to do is
29,
kill them to get it.
31.
You wouldn't
My
do
older
that
brother
for me?
Jason is 35 or 36 now.
You wouldn't do that for me,
Cody,
Kool-Aid?
You know, we decided to go to nursing school together. We decided to go to the
Wow, I
nursing
thought that you were
school
different.
together. A lot of people thought
I thought
it
that
was
we had a
weird
special
because
relationship.
We did everything
We had a
together
baby
because
in
we were so
Rimworld.
close, but yeah, I mean,
Yeah, a lot of people understand the bond of brothers. I mean,
Yeah.
The true bond if you're close to each
and
other.
I mean, during like this whole time, I mean, kind of like with just a few examples I've given
Okay,
you.
so
you
now we're doing back
You take
loops
care of everything.
only,
Always
all
there
the
for
way
you.
around
Yeah.
for
Always there to support
24.
you.
always there. Yeah, did everything together, connected at the hip.
And you ever any issues really with him?
No, like I was saying, during this last 6 months, it had been a very trying time.
It's cute.
He
You
was
think
like,
I
at
could
his
get that much
moment
from
where he
killing
would
my
get
family? Bless.
Extremely upset. Like,
Sigma anime watching
like,
Grand
yeah,
set
he
just
never
like
gets
this guy.
violent, I guess you could say. But
I'll
like, at
DM you
one
later,
point, he got
Kool-Aid.
so upset that he like pushed a cabinet and then it like dented into the wall. Yeah, I mean, at least with me, he's always been like where he's there for me. Like whatever it takes, regardless of what's happening, I'm gonna take care of it for you.
Tell me about your mom.
My mom has
It must have been a bizarre sight for the detectives to witness when a man who had just allegedly shot his mother in the back of the head gave a reminiscent smile when she was brought up in the discussion.
she's always been the it's kind of like Cody. She's always been the one that focused on me.
Thank you, J-Rod.
And
J-Rod only true
Were you the
fan.
baby? You were truly the family baby?
for my mom.
What about she?
For
Okay.
For my mom.
Mom's favorite?
Yeah. You know, countless times my dad would like come up to me and he'd make like me feel
5.
like he'd try and use things and word things to make me feel guilty so that I would, you know, do everything that I can, like get a job.
Almost like a motivation.
Right.
6.
And
no.
he'd tell me time and time again that, you know, you're her favorite. I mean, she would do anything for you.
6.
And I mean, it's like, yeah, I don't need to hear that. I mean, that's not.
My mom
what
sucks
motivates
and is dead. So hey, dead mom
But no,
twinsies.
with Mom,
High 5.
I think we yelled at
I feel
each
my
other
housing
ran
situation
through
biases
like
me
3 or 4
slightly.
times
Sorry,
my whole
Docs.
life. Never any
I
issues.
ain't got a
she-
single
it
true
was
fan
always,
up in
like,
here,
if there was
but
somebody that I could
J-Rod.
talk to and like Cody wasn't available, I'd always talk to my mom. I'd always let her know
Shit.
what's going on.
How many was I on?
Yeah, I mean, she would help me out.
Oh,
through
no.
anything.
Okay. Tell me about Dad.
That was 6, right?
Dad,
What does he do?
Dad's a pharmacist.
Yeah.
He works for CVS.
Okay.
He's been a
1,
pharmacist for, I
2.
think, 35 years or so. My dad was a very, like, angry,
1,
violent type
2,
person.
3,
overbearing.
4, 5, 6. That was
Overbearing.
6. Excellent.
You know, like baseball practice.
I have a house
it'd
and you
be
can
like
have a home in
4
her
or 5
heart.
hours, and
Exactly.
he's hurling the ball.
My
as
love
fast
will
as
keep
a
you
dog
warm in
can.
the winter.
And we're like 7th to 8th grade trying to catch this stuff.
Belittle you?
He would belittle me when I was younger. The problem, I guess, was that I was
Anytime,
I was
Defiant
always
Heroes.
like the jokester, the one that could calm everybody
7.
down, make everybody smile. If it was a heated situation, I could say a joke or something and then make everybody kind of move past it.
8.
And I was just in the point where it's like, you know, I'm hearing, you know, all this stuff from Dad. I'm seeing how much Cody's helping me. You know, Mom's stressed out with her job.
9.
And it's like I'm not doing anything.
When's the last time your dad put his hands on you?
The last time my dad put his hands on me
10.
would be, I'd say, kind of the middle of December of
11.
2018.
What happened?
It's because, you know, with all the money that had been getting spent and
Just to be clear, the CAM model has not
12.
yet been brought up in the discussion. The money being spent, in this context, would simply be his living expenses.
I guess just a mix of everything that I've been
13.
saying, just kind of boiling up in him. And the fact that I was, to him, it seemed like I wasn't concerned about it. So, and then plus I was, you know,
14.
I wasn't acting like myself with the jovialness and, you know,
Sure.
all that kind of stuff. My father chose
15.
to admit me to like a depression or an addiction clinic or something like that in Fort Lauderdale called Cornerstone.
When was that?
That was December
16.
22nd
Okay.
until I think January 4th.
Did you agree to go?
I didn't, but they said that, you know, this was your only,
17.
Who said?
my dad.
Okay.
And that was in Fort Lauderdale?
Yes, yeah.
Did your mom agree with it?
My mom and my brother both
18.
agreed, but it was
Maybe-
my dad who was like the iron fist, like this is what's gonna happen, like, you know, he can't,
Why did he say you needed to go? What was his reasoning?
19.
because with the way that I was acting, he didn't see that I was doing anything for like the positive.
20.
You know, and a lot of it just came back to money with him. He would
21.
like allow me to spend money that he had like with his credit card or something like that, but
22.
it's like then whenever I did, it was like a huge problem.
Okay, so you had one of his credit cards.
Yeah.
And what were you buying with it?
Well, what I was
23.
doing is over the past 4 months or something like that, I've been talking to this woman online.
Who's she?
She's as embarrassing as it is. She's a cam model.
A what?
A cam model.
I'm just lucky
Sorry,
that my
you guys
siblings and
know.
parents didn't kill me yet.
just
They
like all
would
the
go
videos
straight
today,
to
I
the
just
cops
figured
and tell them they
out.
did
A
it and be
cam
proud of
model
it.
is like
Ugh.
they
Listen, love is nice,
it's like
but
a
heat
virtual
and a
girlfriend,
house
I
and a
guess you could
blanket
say.
is a lot.
Like that
I'm
type
not
of
gonna make you
situation.
sell your blanket. You'd
So,
only get like
a lot of the money
$10
went to
for
her.
it.
Okay.
You can keep your blanket.
She lives in Bulgaria. Bulgaria? Over in Europe. It's like
Okay.
Hi, Love
outside
Angel.
Germany,
Okay.
something like that.
You ever been there?
No.
Okay.
It wasn't that serious.
So
Okay.
what would you give her money for?
Just for like the time online with her.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it was just like that type of thing.
And what did she charge?
$600.
Are you in a safe
for,
situation, Squirrel? I hope.
like 5,000 or something tokens or something like that. So, and then it was 4 hours a night. So I mean, that's basically just where all the, like the costs went to was You pay real
Yeah,
money for the
blankets don't
tokens,
really
and you
retain
use
their
the company's
value very
digital
much.
currency For,
Okay.
for that.
So you
Not a
did this, and when
serious
did you meet her?
thing. They do. Okay.
I met her.
They love you. Good.
At the beginning of July. Yeah, at the very beginning of July.
Okay, and
Yeah.
so-
OMG. LOL.
So, yeah,
Sorry.
I mean,
okay.
more
No.
just on,
That's okay. I just
Twitter, like
Okay.
just through direct
if you
messaging.
needed resources,
Again, cell phone service doesn't work, so it's like I can't.
then
use
I'm
the-
a million
the
percent
chat.
gonna
How much do you think you spent?
try to get you some resources. You know.
Pricey.
Yeah.
He said 5,000 tokens. Is that
Probably
$5,000?
close
Okay, so the way
to-
that cam sites work is that you buy tokens
$200,000.
and you donate those tokens. It's like bits
And where'd the money
on Twitch.
Money came from me.
You buy
my
tokens and then
brother,
you
and
give
my
those
dad.
tokens to the
Did they know
cam
where the money was
model.
going to?
They didn't
And
know that it was going
that
to,
cam
a
model
cam-
receives
a
that
cam
in a
model.
form
I
of
was
money
saying
that's
that it was
less than
going
what you
towards
spent
my
on the
Twitch
tokens.
streaming,
Does that make
like,
sense?
Like like advertising, like putting my name out there and that type of thing. So I guess to like bring it all back with why I.
So it
was
depends
brought
on what
forward,
site they were using and
it was
stuff like that. I don't
a mix of
know
all of those things. It's like he felt
too
like,
terribly much about it.
You know,
Seems like extra steps. It's so that the
he felt like
website can make money.
Yeah. And so then I was there, you know, I spoke to like the therapist and psychiatrist and all that stuff. I didn't need any medications for anything. They had analyzed it as this is an isolated event. You've been out of work. You have this
Site-specific currency,
PTSD
microtransactions,
from the
exactly.
whole getting arrested thing.
DLC,
I mean,
yeah.
The last thing on my record was, I think, a speeding ticket.
The
back when I was
private
at UCF.
chats or
They
the
had signed me
DLCs.
up, I think, to be there for 60 days, but then I was only there until January 4th. So
Who paid for that?
my brother, Cody,
What was the cost of that? You know.
15,000.
So their final diagnosis of you was what?
That I was fine. That
Didn't need to be there.
yeah. That I was fine. I told them all about like my living situation and how it had been stressful, and then it got better, and then now it's just stressful again. But they had all just said that it was just this isolated event.
Situational PTSD from.
Right. When I got back, that's where my dad started to get really kind of overbearing, and I mean rightfully so. I know what I did, but it's like with him, it was every single day, hours a day. Excuse me, hours a day. He'd come home from work, and then he would just talk to me just about the same exact thing over and over and over and over and over again.
When was the last time that you and your dad did have, you know, a heated conversation?
It would be Thursday, because one of his rules was that I wasn't allowed to talk to the woman anymore that I had been talking to. But I guess you could say behind the scenes, my mom would let me talk to her through her cell phone using Twitter. So yeah, anyways, on Thursday, he had apparently found out that I was speaking to her again. You know, it wasn't really my intention to continue talking to this woman, but it just kind of happened. And then because there was like that emotional connection, I guess you could say, between her and me, like I like, you know, it felt like a relationship. You know, I didn't want to just stop cold turkey on it.
So Thursday, you're home all day
Yes.
with your mom. She works at home.
Correct. Yeah.
Your dad's at work. What's his normal work hours?
He works until I think he had to go in early that day, because he had to start like doing overtime or something like that. And he normally works though from like 5 or 6 in the morning to, I think he gets home between like 5:30 and 6 at night or something like that.
What time did you get home that day?
He got home at like 5:30, and then he came in and then he asked me in a calmer state, I guess you could say, like basically the leading question of, you know, why do you think we're about to have this conversation? Giving me, I guess, that opportunity to be honest and truthful, to maybe tone it down a little bit.
17.
I, of course, did what I always did, where I kind of didn't admit to it. And then he came out and he told me that I had been doing that.
He had proof.
Yeah.
19.
Have an argument?
Yeah. He kind of, you know, pulled me up from the couch, and then he was yelling at me to pack my shit up and just get out of the house. That he was the one who had to be the hammer, and that, you know, why am I making him have to go through this, and all this other kind of stuff.
Okay.
I had my argument, and then I'm packing my stuff. I'm, you know, taking it out to the car. It took me like a couple hours to get as much as I could, just kind of out into there. So I left, and then
What time do you think you left about?
oh god, 9 or 9:30 or so.
He goes on to state that he met up with his brother soon after on the side of the road.
And what was the conversation?
Conversation was basically that he was brought up to speed, you know, and that he would take care of it.
He was brought up to speed by what?
This is Grant attempting to frame his brother for a double murder-suicide. You will see this quote brought up repeatedly from this point forward.
I need to give my arms a break for a second.
Why
Because holding them, I should.
Who brought him up to speed?
My mom.
I think
Oh, so she talked to him?
Yeah.
better.
He told you that Mom had talked to him.
Right.
What a sad existence aside from the fact that he's a murderer. I do
Grant,
find this
Cody
kind
had
of
left
thing
work
very
a few
sad.
hours early to meet up with him on the side of the road. Cody had
Society
indeed left
fails
work
men
early,
like
yet
this.
It wasn't to
It's
meet up
like
with Grant.
incels-
It was later proven that while Margaret Amato was sitting at the computer
I've got to
sipping on a
pause
glass
this and
of
have
red
some
wine,
real talk
Grant
for
shot
a
her in
second.
the back of the head.
This is
he then lay in wait for his
make no mistake, this is an incel murder, right? He like believed that he had a relationship with this woman that was taking advantage of him. It's very sad. And the thing that was keeping him from this woman was his dad not giving him money or whatever, or not allowing him to keep taking money. This is sad. I think that the fact that there's not a lot of good role models for men to look to when they're lonely is a big problem. And I think that it makes it so that violence like this and Elliot Rogers et al. Happen, are much more likely to happen. When you're interacting with an incel, it's so important to treat them with empathy. You know what I mean? Somebody who's involuntarily celibate, that does a lot of damage to a psyche in a society where if you're not getting laid, you're a loser. You know what I mean? It's, I mean, he is a liar. What he did was disgusting, but I do think that society left this fucking dude behind. I do think that this is really fucking sad. And I feel bad that that it got bad enough, at all, that he like felt like he was in a relationship with this cam model. But like, it's so much worse that when he got cut off, it's like his dad had no empathy for his situation, and not to victim blame. That feels victim blamey. But like, I feel like it could have gone differently if he was met with love and understanding. Even if you are angry, you're allowed to be angry, but still love and understand the pain somebody's going through. You know what I mean? It's amazing how strong a connection, even a fake one, can be for some people. 100%. 100%. Anyway, yeah, love and understanding is like the most important thing that you can have for anybody, especially people that it feels like you shouldn't have it for. You know what I mean?
His father to return to the house, then shot him twice in the head as he entered the kitchen.
Anyway.
Cody then received a text from his father's number, asking him to come home urgently. Forensics believed that he was very likely pleading for his life soon after he entered the front door. He was found by police with a gunshot wound to the face, lying in the fetal position. His credit card was stolen, with a purchase made to a campsite for $600 and estimated 30 minutes later.
I mean, in my mind, I was just thinking, oh, he had been let off work early like three times already this week. So I was just like
10-15 minutes you talk to Cody.
Right.
You have a conversation, and he leaves to go home.
Right.
And you leave to go where?
And then I stay in that general area just so that if anything happens, somebody like knows where I am. Yeah, I mean, I was staying in that general area, and then I decided to go
to Publix.
He just referred to the Publix supermarket parking lot. This is where he used the free Wi-Fi to log on to the campsite with his dead brother's credit card.
Which was about
Yeah, Kool-Aid, exactly. I mean,
like,
we can never know. We can never really know
one, I think.
whether it would have gone differently,
and you
but
go to Publix midnight one, and how long did you stay there till?
I stayed there until like
sternness is
7.
not a virtue, is all I'm saying.
Slept there last night. Talked to anybody?
I messaged
Assertiveness,
the girl that I'd been
sure.
talking to on Twitter.
Sternness
Yeah.
On Twitter, so you have to pay
is
for it.
a
Right,
sin
right.
to me.
I think once.
The discussion is then brought back to his last meeting with Cody.
And then when
Not
you
to say that I'm
left,
perfect,
Cody,
because I definitely I get mean when I'm
Cody
mad
said that
sometimes.
he
It's
will take
easy.
care
It's the
of
most
it.
human
Take
thing in
care
the
of
world.
what?
Just the situation that was at hand with whatever he had been updated with from my mom.
Did he tell you what he was updated?
I would like this
He had
hat
told
to
me
be
that.
taller
He had
since
told
we
me
made
the
it wider,
reason
so I
why,
think I'm
like,
going to do
I'd
2
been
more
kicked out.
rounds here.
But
What are you
he
thinking
really
of when you
didn't give
say
me that
sternness? When
much
somebody is,
dialogue,
like, being
about
mean
that
when they're
situation.
mad.
You know, he was miffed a little bit because, you know, he had just gotten off work.
When
and now
somebody
he
is
had to go deal
cold
with this.
and mean
But
and
what was your demeanor? Like,
stonewally.
what did Cody see you as? Like, were you
Like,
Two.
scared.
upset?
Yeah,
Were
like,
you...
I might be
I was
using
scared
the
because, I mean, like I
sternness
said, it's the first time
word
that I had
wrong.
been out of the house.
3.
We've come and talked to you.
Okay.
You rode up here voluntarily with us to talk
4.
to us.
The detective will now initiate the first confrontation.
Why do you think we're having this conversation?
5.
I honestly don't know, but I'm pretty freaked out at this point because,
6.
you know, it's, I mean, I know, like, how the situation was when I left.
You're now about to see the lead
7.
interrogator's attempt at getting Grant to confess, in a manner so blatantly obvious that the suspect immediately sees through it.
As a child, we're told the
8.
truth always is the best thing to do, correct?
Correct.
You agree with me?
Yeah.
And accidents happen, and things in the
9.
heat of the moment, things happen that we wish hadn't happened. But I do it myself sometimes. My kids will make me
10.
aggravated. I'll snap at them.
So happy to find out you crochet. That gives me the
Wow, I wish I
motivation to
would've
work
not
on my
done that.
scarf,
That's
so
not
don't
good.
mind
They
me.
told
I'm
me
allergic. Get
to
this biatch done.
snap
Fuck
at a
yeah.
child for something. Yes, they're
Fuck
wrong,
yeah, Hoey. I
but
believe.
I should be the adult and not snap at them.
Right.
Tell me what you think, because I can tell I've done this for a long, long time, and I read people, the way they act, and the way they talk to me, and the way they answer questions.
11.
There's something you want to tell us. I can see it in your eyes, I can see it in your body language, and just the way you act.
12.
Now's the time. Now's the time. If there's something you want to get off your chest and give us an explanation of what's bothering you.
13.
Now is the exact time to do it. And I'm giving you that opportunity right now to tell me
14.
something you want to get off your chest. It's there. I can see it in your face. I can see it in
that
your
you
eyes.
kept out about that night?
You're upset about.
It's wild that this shit
I
works.
can see there's something been bothering you. Even though I don't know you from Adam's house, can't you see things in people that something's really bothering this guy? It's not that, you know, I spent a bunch of money I shouldn't
16.
have on this girl. So be it. You did. It's over with. Money can be made back. Something's bothering you.
17.
I'm just worried about what is all transpiring from this.
I think at this point right now, to be honest with you, Grant, you know what it is. It's in your eyes.
19.
Your eyes is the view to your soul, and it's in your eyes.
20.
And it sounds stupid, and people don't believe it. Like I told you out there in the car, didn't I
21.
tell you? You may not like what I say, but I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm going to tell you the truth every time, because I can walk in front of anybody in
22.
God and say, I don't care. I told him the truth.
And we usually know answers before we ask it.
23.
I knew, me and Eva knew everything before we asked you the
24.
questions. Now,
Are we
sometimes
watching
it
a budding
comes
romance
to you
happening,
fun,
right?
you're
I
holding
can
something
see it
back,
in your
I
eyes.
can see it in your eyes. People don't believe that the police will help you, but we are actually here to help you with.
Oh,
issues
fuck
may have.
you.
I think something happened.
God, I hate
And
cops.
You don't want to tell us, but right now is the time to get it off your chest. And I really wish you would, because
Why am I
you feel
siding with a
better if you did.
murderer right now?
I
Gross.
genuinely don't have anything else that I can say about the night or, you know, the periods of time afterwards.
There's only one opportunity to.
It's just so
Make
snaky.
that good
It's so snaky. Like,
and
why
if
wouldn't
we've
cops
done
are
what we
also
should've
murderers
done,
though? True.
if that's something you caught your
I just
hand
feel
in,
like
we
it
are.
would be better for
Detective
everybody
Dan's
if they were
approach
just
here
like,
is so
we know
incredibly
you did
outdated
it,
and
so
predictable
just
that it actually
here's
seems to boost
what
the
kind of
suspect's
deals we
confidence.
can
It's
get
the
you
detective,
maybe
in
if
fact,
you
who gives off a nervous
confess.
disposition. He'll begin
You
stumbling
know what I
over his own
mean?
words while simultaneously mixing up his analogies, which never made a great deal of sense to begin with.
You do it. Now,
Was there anything else that happened at the house that you didn't tell us, that you've left out, or we haven't asked you, that would be of importance?
1,
Or during the time that you drove around for those few hours,
2.
did you ever really go back to the house that you haven't told us about?
You'll also notice the female detective interject with something useful every now and then.
3.
But unfortunately, she's not the one leading this interrogation. That would be the detective who keeps bringing up Jesus, to a guy who just murdered his family to go jerk off in a parking lot to a Bulgarian cam model.
I know things that you don't know, and honestly,
5.
will get you all the things I could do for you. To be honest, I can't deal with someone who lies to me.
Right.
But I'll deal with someone and help them till the end, no matter what. Believe it or not, that's just me, and she'll tell you. It's what it is. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to say if I can do something that can help you, I'm going to help you, because every one of us make mistakes and do things we shouldn't have done in the heat of the moment to protect ourselves or to protect somebody else.
9.
It happens. Now's the time. Now is the time.
So what do you think
To be
happened?
honest.
10. But the
I
whole
think that there was
goal
something that obviously happened at the house.
of interrogation is to get you to admit for free without
I don't
giving
know what
anything.
happened.
You're not wrong. I just think
I
it's
know better.
snaky. I
Listen
like
to me.
it. I
know
fucking
better.
hate cops,
I can
dude.
help you,
I
Grant,
fucking hate
with
them.
honesty. I can help you with honesty.
We think something else happened before you left the home that you're either afraid of or embarrassed to talk about. But we need to know exactly what happened, because like Danny said, we can place you there at certain times. And so we need to know what happened before you left that house, because you didn't leave with everything being okay.
I honestly, I don't have anything else that I can really say. I mean, I don't know.
Do you even know
11.
why law enforcement got involved? Like
12.
what brought us to that home?
No.
Once you start telling me something that's truthful that I know,
13.
then we're going to have a conversation of exactly what happened.
I mean, you're a smart guy.
14.
You know something's happened at your home. You have law enforcement here. You haven't heard or gotten any
Well,
emails.
I
from
mean,
your
I'm
family.
just scared as to what the answer is.
Well, you need to help yourself by filling in the
16.
blanks of what happened that night, so we can give you the answer.
17.
Did anything more happen with you and your father besides him grabbing you up from the couch and yelling at you and
18.
kicking you out? Anything at all? Did he harm you, hit you,
19.
No.
draw any weapons on you?
No. He didn't do anything like that.
20.
I mean, he was just yelling.
This is the time to come to Jesus, to be honest.
21.
Because you know more. I'm looking in your eyes. Your eyes tell me exactly that you are hurting inside. I get it. Brother, I get it. You're hurting.
22.
And this is the
You're
only
scared.
time we can help you.
Because once we get to a certain point, there's nothing I can do. It's in the hands of who has it. Nothing I can do.
23.
Honesty is always the best policy.
God, you're so
stealing
gross.
the car. You admit to it. I did it. How can I get help? What can be done to help me? And let me tell you the rest of my story. You're
And
holding
if
back.
something happened that you were defending yourself, then we need to know that. If you were protecting yourself because you were in fear, then that makes sense. But we need to know exactly what happened for you to protect yourself.
You can't minimize this. Once a wise man told me one time, once a bomb goes off, you can't defuse it.
The detective's wise man friend was clearly a specialist in nuclear fusion, yet most people would already comprehend that a bomb can no longer be defused once it has exploded.
You can't. That's already out there. Now is the point to say, how do I put Band-Aids on myself to minimize the injuries I have? And we're giving you that opportunity.
I'm frustrated
give you
because
that
I
opportunity.
definitely
I'll take
did
it
do
back
that
out.
back
I really
loops
don't.
The
only
male
thing.
detective will now, for some
So I'm
reason,
thinking I
focus
might
on Grant's
take
flaws
some
and the
cardboard
overwhelming
from this
embarrassment
and,
of the
like,
cam girl
it's not-
situation, which is
it's not a
basically the
crisp
exact
edge up
opposite of
top,
what he should be doing.
right?
He
It's
seems
a
to get
rounded
confused
edge.
about what he's
And the
trying
bear
to
taffy
achieve
hat
here.
is
He carries
definitely
a
like
sympathetic
a
tone while essentially
crisp
roasting
edge
the
around
ever-loving
the
shit
top.
out of the
So I
suspect.
think I might stuff
I think you guys
some
are in a very stressful and emotional time right now with being out of
cardboard,
work,
like a
it's
disc
no
of
phone call,
cardboard up
the arrest.
into it so that it gives
You're
it
probably
that
not used to
shape that I
depending on
want.
somebody to pay all your bills. So now you have
Bye,
to
Buff.
sit
Have a
down,
good one.
Have to give you money. Cody's having to give
Dude
you
should have
money.
asked for a lawyer before
And
even
there's
sitting down
significant
100%.
debt.
We scream it at the
$200,000
screen all the
what
time.
I mean, mortgage, yeah, I get it, or something like that, or a medical bill for my child, yeah, I get it. But talking to some girl, in Bulgaria, you hit it right on the head. You were embarrassed about it, and you have nothing to be embarrassed about. Here it is, man. I want to help you. She want to help you. You gotta come to me with the truth now, because I already know the truth.
There's a reason you didn't go back to the house. There's a reason why you haven't tried to reach out. I mean, it's
I wanna
odd
help.
you haven't heard from anybody.
Yeah, I mean, it's like it's words that, like, I can't think of to even say. Like, I don't know how to even say the words.
Well, give me a roundabout what you're thinking.
That somebody in my family's dead.
And how does that make you feel if you're thinking that?
I have absolutely no ability to comprehend the words, because like I said, I've been there for my whole entire life, and even though there's been struggles and everything like that, there has never been any issues.
There's never been the struggles or the issues like happened Thursday. Never for you. I believe you 100%. I believe it's never been like that. But something happened Thursday unlike anything you've ever experienced in 29 years of your life. Never.
And maybe you felt that was rock bottom for you. You were getting kicked out of the house. Your father gave you an ultimatum. I mean, that's...
The female detective will now carry out what the male detective was probably trying to do a few minutes ago. She will afford him justifications for the crime, making the gravity of admission less intimidating.
You know, you're already dealing with the debt, and, you know, now you have to stop talking to this girl.
I'm frustrated.
Now you're being kicked out of the home.
I don't know where my fucking scissors are.
I can understand how you would feel.
They're always just right here. I don't know
You'd wanna
where the
lash
fuck
out,
they are.
Or, you know, if something happened, you'd want to defend yourself.
Sure. Absolutely.
But we need to know what happened.
I mean, I can tell that you guys are like leading me into a certain way of what.
The only thing we're leading you to is wanting to get the truth from you. Not trying to make you say something that's not true, that's not accurate. The truth.
My pencil is also not here.
That's
What
it.
the
That's all we
fuck?
want is the absolute
Where's all my shit? I have a flosser sitting at my desk so that I can floss my teeth
what
idly.
transpired during the nighttime.
So when you left your house, everybody was fine.
Yeah,
And when you left Cody,
everything was fine.
well, we got
I'm
called to
annoyed.
the house because Cody didn't show up to work.
I'll be right
Law
back, gang. I
enforcement
won't
goes
even
over there.
I won't even put up the BRB
Can
screen.
you tell us what went down?
I am gonna run ads so that we
was
don't
the only
have
thing that I was told was that Cody
it
would take
looks
care
like
of
the
it.
majority
And that's all that I know.
So if
of
anything
people in
happened at the
here
home,
are subbed anyway.
bring law enforcement there,
So
what
I'm
would you
I'm
think
just gonna run
happened?
ads and then I'll be right back. Just so that
That there was
pre-rolls are off.
shooting.
But yeah, I have to go grab a
Definitely
pencil
how.
and some scissors. So
I don't
BRB.
know. Between Cody and my dad,
And why would you think that?
Multi-tool does not have scissors, only a knife.
to protect me or to help me or to do something.
Hi,
with me.
bud. Hi, sweet baby boy.
So you're telling me you did not shoot Cody,
No.
your father, or your mother?
No. I mean, I don't know, like, what more I can say.
Well, when law enforcement arrived, that's what they found. So you're the only outstanding child. You're the one that's been having problems with your dad. You're the one that we haven't been able to find for 2 days. Do you understand now why we would be questioning you about this?
Yeah, but I mean, I wouldn't, like, I wouldn't be saying, like, all, like, I don't know the way to, I don't know, like, what to even say.
So if anything happened in the home, you believe it would be Cody and him?
Yes. Because I don't have, access to anything.
We know that Cody didn't shoot your dad. We know Cody didn't shoot your mom. We know Cody didn't shoot himself. There's something.
And you still haven't asked us the
That-
condition of them or anything.
That's because I don't know what the normal proceedings are, but
The normal proceedings are for you to be honest
and
about
we-
what happened.
And then we help you understand everything that's going on from here on out, of what our responsibilities are.
And we don't believe you're being honest. We feel that you are leaving something out about what happened in that home. And the evidence tells us what happened in the home. But you need to fill in the blanks.
The suspect's composure was finally starting to slip. This was the perfect moment to draw out the silence to see how he'd respond to the pressure.
here's my hand for honesty. I am an honest guy. I'm going to be honest. And when it's all said and done, I'm going to be honest to the very last day that I deal with you. And then when this investigation continues, I'll go on to the next person and be honest with them.
That's a good idea.
I can only do so much with honesty. Honesty gets
So what are you not telling us?
I need to clean in here bad.
What happened at that home that you know?
Yeah.
Did you leave the house with your brother Cody looking like that?
I can't find my fucking scissors.
Or did you leave the house with your father looking like that? Or your mother? Is that how you left your family?
No. Nobody else went into that house.
Who left your family like this? If you were the one that's been depressed, you were the one that owes money, you were the one that got into a confrontation with your father, who did this to your family? If you were trying to defend yourself or something else happened,
Did I
we
miss
need
anything
to know now.
egregious?
The female detective does an excellent job at affording him the option to admit to a lesser infraction, which in this case is self-defense. She provides the option while simultaneously building pressure. It's a textbook maneuver, and she does it very well.
To help you. So tell us what happened, Grant. We're here to listen to you.
Grant, you need the truth. We're here to make this right. You gotta tell the truth. It's on the tip of your tongue, my man. I get that. It's
Did your
tough.
father go after you and you try to protect yourself?
No, I didn't do any of this.
Hey, I know. Video surveillance tells me everything that happened this night. I'm telling you. Of people that you'd be surprised who in your neighborhood has video. And I know that there's only 4 people was at this house during this time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Tell me. You gotta tell me, man. You got to tell me. Get over that hoop. The video, if you're sitting there saying no, and video shows something else, guess what? Big problem. Because it will wind up later on that you can't get any help from anybody. A lot of this, what people make decisions on is honesty. Was somebody honest? Didn't fire a gun, didn't fire a gun. None of them did. None of them did. Cody did not go home.
Or did your father point a gun at you?
No, there's nothing else that I can say.
Your emotions, your demeanor, your body language, your eyes tell me everything I need to see about you. You want to tell me in the worst way. You want to get this pain off your chest. Do it.
I mean, there's just nothing else that I can say.
So your dad had told you in the past before that he would kill you?
Right.
For what reason?
For if I basically did anything related to this, again, costing him a lot of money.
And Cody knew about that.
Right.
So when did you learn that your family was dead?
I had been worried since last night when I was just in the hotel, but I knew when you guys told me. I mean, like, I knew when you guys had told me,
You already knew though.
but I had,
Shit.
You know.
Yeah, no, I'm
At any
dumb.
point, did you feel like you needed to reach out to Cody and see if he was okay, or?
Yeah, this
I
is
just
what
didn't
I
want to call anywhere. I just didn't want to know.
We understand your father was abusive, and we understand that he was the asshole. And if he threatened you, that he was going to kill you when you came back, you were probably in fear, were you not? So did your brother come home to try and defend you, and then this gunfight happened, and you got so scared that you left?
This version of events would obviously clear Grant of any wrongdoing. The detective is hoping he takes the bait so that he changes his story, and can then be placed under arrest for lying to police.
No, I mean, I had left when I had said that I had left.
I just don't know where else to go to get you to come around, because it does not make any logistical sense of what you're telling us. It doesn't.
Almost there, y'all.
If these two got in a shooting, we would know. We would know they shot each other. We'd know that.
But why Mom?
just got so bad and out of hand, like never it's been before in your life. Never been here before in your life or your family's life. He's pissed. His future, his retirement, his plans.
Draw a quick farce.
Are
I didn't bring a
upset
pen.
by
I should have.
Because of the financial cost. I would almost bet this is just a horrible, bad incident that on any other day wouldn't happen.
That's so smart. I want to do that.
But you and me both know, as does she, what happened that night.
I don't have the answer for anything else.
Okay. This is the last time before I'm gonna walk out and then I'm done. And I'm done for good. When I'm done, I'm done.
I don't have anything else that I can say.
Do you not feel bad for doing this to your family?
I mean, I've been getting blamed for the last half a year for everything, and I've been trying to move forward into a positive direction. And then every day I'm reminded of all the trouble that I had caused.
Babe, do you have a pen?
I don't know.
And then I keep being told the same thing over and over again, but there's nothing that I can do to change it.
Do you regret doing this to each one of your family members?
I didn't do that to each one of them.
Here, you sit in my seat for a minute. Sit in my seat. Get out of it. Here, sit right here. Come here. Sit right here. Get out of that seat. Sit right there for me.
The suspect still isn't sitting in his seat.
Two things that happened here today. Two things. You're a guy swimming out in the middle of the ocean.
You're the best.
And
Thank
we're
you.
gonna give you one of two things based on you. You can have a life preserver to keep from drowning, or you get the boat anchor. And it's which one do you want? Because we will give you whichever one you ask for. The life preserver, the boat anchor.
No, I want the life preserver that I've said everything that I can.
You want it, and I believe you do, but you have not said everything you can say. But there will be a time where you ask for that life preserver. I can't give it to you. I can't. Once I cross a line I gotta step over, can't do it. Won't do it. Think about that.
Ah, sorry, everybody.
I want to talk to her for a minute. Think about the last life preserver I can give you. Think about it. Take a few minutes just to reflect on it, and then we'll come back to you in a couple of minutes, and then we'll go from there. And what happens is
This pen will not open.
Fair enough?
This pen will not open.
You alright, Graham? Okay. Need some food, some water? You good to stay for a while longer? You okay?
I mean, I just don't have anything more that I can say. I don't know what the next...
I'm not keeping you. If you want to stay, I'll talk to you till whatever, till
Kool-Aid.
you're happy
Somebody
with-
put Kool-Aid
with
in the box.
everything And you're okay. You're not detained. You're not being kept here. Don't want to be here. You don't have to be here.
I don't want to be here anymore.
Okay. Give me a minute. We'll get you out of here. What we'll do is we'll get you up somewhere. I'll give you my card, my phone number. If you want to talk to me, you're more than welcome to call me. And we'll move forward from there. Fair enough? Any questions of me before I go? Or before we walk out? I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Like, what am I, allowed to do?
Live your life. Hey man, we are right there at it. Jason's here. It's going to be a few more minutes. What I need to do is just for our investigation, get some pictures of you. We're going to collect your clothing. As soon as that's done, we'll get Jason here to talk to you. All right.
Alright, so I take it you know what happened.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask you plain out, you are not part of it anyway.
No.
When's the last time you saw everybody?
I left the house between midnight and 12:30.
I want to believe you, Grant, but you're the last person that I could put in that house. And I know what happened over the last 6 months. Who else can I blame? How
Oh,
are we gonna
Mankey, it's
find
so
out who did
dangerous
it?
for you to jump up here right now. I do want to snuggle you, though. Hi,
The
sweet
shit you
boy.
did, you could have
Hi,
been in
little
jail.
man.
You would have been in jail for years.
I know.
And they covered it up for you. I'm scared for you, and I'm scared for myself, and
Hi, bud.
I don't feel comfortable with you being around me alone. I'm sorry.
Hi.
I could take you physically, but if you have a knife or know where a gun is, I'm fucked. I need you to be honest with me, man.
There's my cat's butthole, in
I
case
need
you
to have
guys were
closure.
wondering.
Well, I was told that you would not have access to be able to contact this woman. Why do you feel the intent to still contact her?
See you later, CB. Have a good one. Thanks for hanging out.
The whole emotional thing. I mean, that's all
Okay,
that I can say.
so are you saying that you love the woman?
I feel like I did, yeah.
Okay, you feel like you did, so you don't feel that way now?
Well, I mean, now it's pretty much, I mean, it's not what it used to be, is all I can say.
Because she's aware of what has happened in the last several months.
Right.
It hurt, right?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, because you can't carry that persona that you carried before. I do love you, though. Just remember that. Just like Mom, Cody, and Dad loved you. Nobody loved you any more or any less.
This is a shitty circle, y'all.
You have anything else you need to talk about before we let you go? Because now's your time. You know that. Like Danny said, once you're out of here, there's no coming back from this. We're giving you every opportunity to tell us what happened in that home that you have not told us. So you're aware that when you leave here, you're not going to have any chance to redeem yourself and tell us the truth after the fact.
Let's just see how
And
it
you're
looks.
okay with that. You can live with
Ooh,
yourself
this might be too
knowing that
big.
You're not going to tell us the truth.
Hi, baby boy. You can't be up there.
You ready, man? Question for you real quick. You don't want to hurt yourself. You don't want to hurt anybody else. No suicidal thoughts. Okay, come on, bud.
Grant was arrested 9 hours later at his hotel. His trial began on August 12, 2019.
Grant Amato was so obsessed with this woman.
I got it.
You're going to see from the evidence.
My
in
cat
this
is being
case,
so fucking cute, you guys.
At 2:53 a.m. on January 25th.
Also, the circle is
After
definitely
leaving
good enough.
The house that contained the 3 dead bodies of his family. The defendant goes to a nearby Publix parking lot, logs onto their Wi-Fi, and uses his dead brother's USA checking account to pay $599.99 to get onto Sylvie's website at 3:02 in the morning. That's what this case is about.
So we'll put that there. I'm gonna
It's
put
about
this
his
away so that I
blind
don't
obsession
accidentally
with
slice
this woman.
myself.
The end of the world, as he believed it to be, because of his family, and his absolute contempt for those that he held responsible.
Verdict. We, the jury, find the defendant guilty of first-degree premeditated murder.
Grant Amato was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole.
All right, and now I even think, now that I've seen it with the circle in it, I think that we should do a few more rows of the hat. Because if you guys look at Bear Taffy's logo, the hat is really tall.
Execution could proceed. Hey you and welcome. My name is Mike, and in this whole video, I have a story
Everybody,
for
this
you.
is that chapter. If you want to subscribe, please
what
do.
It delivers us some
If you want to
misery
watch
in Missouri City. That's
along
the city,
with
not
us,
the state. And this story also is
you
deduced
can.
in.
It's that
in
chapter. We love to throw him the
Houston.
views for
Really got kind of spoiled with
letting
Missouri
us
there, taking it for granted. Let's
use
move
his
past
content
that. This story
on the
involves
channel.
this handsome, charming fella.
Prada even played to the cameras, wiping a speck of blood from his face after making his accusations about civil rights abuses.
There's some Manson lamps right there. Hold on. This is a story which lasted almost 30 years, till January 2023, when this story came to a very permanent end. You know, the old kind of boop. This is a story of a marriage. It's a story of an ex-cop, and it's a story of hiring some people to go do what you want to get done. And then it's a story of, you know, you hooking it up after, having a grand old time. You know, some man for one man. Before we get into it, please subscribe to see new true crime
Thank you,
videos
J-Rod.
every week from me to you. And also, I want to mention this at the end of the video, but real quick, there's a lot of bots and scammers going on YouTube in the comments right now. Long story short, folks, I am not on Telegram. Anyone claiming to be me on Telegram, it's not me. And if you get replies in the YouTube comments from somebody who you think is me, make sure to just check for the little tick. When I comment, it will have a little tick beside it. It's happening all over YouTube. It's very irritating. Also, everyone, a huge thank you.
Reaper, thank you so much.
Thank you for all the
Thank
love
you.
and support the That Chapter
Appreciate
podcast
ya.
has received. It is currently number 6 in all podcasts on Spotify and number 1 in true crime. That's just, it absolutely blows me away. Like, this is insane, so I cannot thank you all enough. Now, let's give this whole story a go.
4, 5, 6, 7.
So we shall begin, my friends, in a little place called Atascocita. It's northeast of Houston, and was named one of the best places to retire, funnily enough. It is a thriving nightlife that ends at 4 p.m. and is home to over 80,000 people, if you can believe that. So if you were to
11.
drive from downtown Houston and take a right, a left, a right, a left, a right, a left, and then a right again,
12.
you would end up at 5411 Timbers Trail Drive. There, in that pleasant and leafy
13.
suburb, lies a nice 2-story home, a garage, nice garden.
14.
And it was there that on the 9th of November 1994, Farah Frada, she pulled in. It was her home where she lived with her 3 children, the oldest of which was 7 years of age. That evening, Farah had gone
See you
out,
later,
she'd
squirrel.
gotten her hair
Thanks
did
for
at
hanging
the
out.
local beauty salon, and then she pulled into her driveway at about 8 p.m. Her 3 children, they were with the daddy-o at the time, and he was due to bring them back to her home that evening. However, as Farah pulled into the driveway, drove into the garage, parked the car, and opened the door, a man swiftly walked up to her as she was exiting the car,
20.
shot her twice in the head. Farah lay bleeding out on that
21.
cold garage floor, and the killer fled, running into the passenger side door of a nearby car, which had the engine running, and then they
22.
drove away. Neighbors that night just so happened to have witnessed something.
23.
They saw Farah back into her driveway, then they turned away, they heard a shot, a scream, saw Farah lying on the ground, and then another shot, execution style.
24.
And then 911 was dialed.
Frank, I saw a shooting, please.
Okay, do you know if anybody's been shot?
Yes, I see the lady. I see her in her garage right now.
Is somebody shot?
Yes. You need to send an ambulance. She's down. There's still a person out there. There's a black gentleman. He's got a black shirt and a black pants. The lady is down in her garage. She's been shot 2 times. There are 2 shots. Oh, dear. Okay.
Farah, she was alive when the medics, reached her. And then they were going to rush her to a helicopter to get her to the nearest hospital. But sadly, it was too late. And she passed away not long after.
Followed by a scream and then another second quick gunshot. And then the suspect was seen hiding by a tree. The vehicle came around the corner and picked him up and left.
The investigation, as you can imagine, immediately began. And it started with the obvious. The obvious, right? Means motive. Motive? Well, she hadn't been sexually assaulted. She hadn't been robbed. She still had her purse and her cash. still on her, right? So the motive wasn't a sexual attack or a robbery gone wrong. Somebody trying to steal a person and bang, bang. Wasn't anything like that. It seemed like the motive was Farah, her life itself. That was the motive. She was executed. Like, she was shot once, she was on the ground. Execution style, she took another one to the head. It was determined that the killer had been hiding in Farah's her back garden, and then had broken into her home, and then when she reversed into her own garage, the killer came at her from inside the house. They opened the garage door, whipped out a gun. Pretty soon, though, at the tippity top of the list was Farah's estranged husband, Robert Fratta.
8.
Robert Fratta went by Bob, and Farah Fratta had been married for 11 years by 1994. And at the time of Farah's murder, they were involved in a pretty messy and painful divorce and custody battle over their 3 children. Bradley, 7 years of age, Daniel, 6, and Amber, 4. In fact, the trial was due in 3 weeks' time.
12.
Farah was 33 years old at the time of her death, born in Guildford, England. She grew up in Croydon, South London, and after she would go to college. And then she began working at a travel agency.
14.
She began dating an Englishman at the time, and soon became engaged to him. But when Farah Backer's parents, with whom she was extremely close, when they moved to Houston, Texas, Farah, well, she chose to go along with them. Much to the delight of her fiancé. No doubt.
17.
Once she arrived in Texas, right? She loved traveling, right? She'd worked in a travel agency, so she began applying for jobs, and within 1 week, she got a job at American Airlines, working as a ticket agency. Now,
19.
might be thinking, no, it wasn't just her accent, which made everything just sound posh. She was also extremely
20.
charming. She was extremely dynamic. She would always have these like new and exciting ideas, and everybody got on great with her.
21.
And it was through this job that she would meet police officer Bob Fratta. He was a Missouri City police officer. Missouri City was in the southwest, so it was pretty much on the opposite side of Houston from Atascocita.
22.
He was a handsome, charming guy, you know, he worked out, he took care of himself, but despite warnings from ex-coworkers about, you know, he's a bit of a ladies' man, you know, maybe, she got involved with him. Pretty soon breaking off her engagement, which she still kept up
24.
with the guy back in London. Okay. So she would end up with Bobby Frathouse over here. And they would have 3 kids together.
Alright, now I want to see it with
right up until
the disc in.
Wasn't good. Now, what exactly happened? I'm not going to get into too much detail here, because it's frankly sick as shit. But Bobby, he had some predilections, I guess you could say, for some sick sexual shit. Now, hey, listen, come on. I'm not going to kink shame over here. Whatever you're into, so long as you're not hurting anybody else, go for it. Whack away. But Bobby, he deserves to be kink shamed. 100%. He was into coprophilia. That means he liked to eat shit. Here's something. Okay, so this is from their later divorce filings. I'm gonna read you out something here. He wanted to, quote, wanted to watch his wife engage in lesbian sexual activities, have her defecate in his mouth, urinate on him, and choke him while he masturbated, and hit him in the stomach while he masturbated, and he wanted her to perform such acts every day, on a daily basis. Shit in his mouth. What the fuck? So yeah, stop masturbating over there.
I think this is good.
Farah,
I think that'll do it.
She was not terribly keen on that herself. It wasn't really her.
But I want to.
Thanks.
I still think
Flashbacks
that
of
it
Mark
needs more
Redwine
height.
over here once again. Bob was like, I need to be eating shit all the time, and when I'm not eating shit, you'll hear me asking, where's the shit? And when that wasn't happening,
Right?
he'd get very
We
mad.
think
He'd
that that
get very
needs more
cross.
height
Hence, a
for the Bear
divorce.
Taffy
But Bob,
logo.
He was Tom Petty, and he was not gonna just let her walk away. No siree. And so it would end in divorce. Their marriage, at least something would be flushed down the toilet, am I right? Farah would kick Bob out of the house, but for Bob, this was a game to him. He didn't want to pay child support. He didn't want custody of the kids either, but he
Also,
did
could somebody
want to
check
drag
really
this
quick?
out
I
for
don't
as long
remember
as
whether
possible
the
to hurt
sash on the
Farah.
top hat
Hence
is
why
red
he
or
filed for
gray. I think
custody
it's
of the
gray.
kids. Farrah
But
had
like I
detailed all of this
am
in,
picturing it with
the
Red
upcoming
also.
custody battle,
Could
divorce
somebody
battle,
real
all
fast
of
just
it.
go check
Bob
for
was
me?
not too keen on all of this becoming public, which it would once the court case began. So, in fact, a few months before her death, Farrah called the police.
It is
panicking.
gray? Okay, great.
The police rocked up and
2.
she was absolutely hysterical. She said that one night she was in bed, a masked intruder broke
3.
into the house, smashing a window, broke into her house and started attacking her with a stun gun,
4.
attacking her in front of her children. Then this guy fled. He was never caught. Now, it's not believed
5.
it was
I'm gonna
Bob,
take this out
but
so that
it's
it doesn't
believed
get
Bob
bent.
was behind it, that Bob paid somebody to
I
break
might
into his house and attack his wife
resin
in
cast
front of his
that before
fucking children.
chucking it in.
Turns out that him gobbling up literal shit is not the most disgusting thing about him. And then, 4 months later, this happens. And so the detective's eyes, immediately went to the estranged
1,
husbands,
2,
right?
3, 4, 5.
Means,
Okay.
ding, motive, ding. That's a double ding right there. But the problem was, he had an alibi
6.
as tight and as strong as my love for the life insurance stance. He was at church in Humble, not far away,
7.
with their 3 children.
It was Red back
So
in the
it couldn't
day?
have been him
Okay.
who pulled the trigger. But that didn't mean he wasn't involved, right? That very night his car was searched, and $1,000 was found in Bobby Fratta's glove compartment of the car, which the police were like, it's quite a lot of money to be carrying around. Was it maybe payoff money? Now Bobby said it was for new carpeting. Come on, guys, let's need to
8.
tear up the old rug. Nothing suspicious. Now, so listen to this. I tell you stories of
9.
bizarre, crazy crimes and strange disappearances. And you know what that means? You gotta watch your back. Sometimes it might be best to be
10.
invisible from those out there who might be trying to get you. Those mother heckin', BS'n, excuse my Frenchin',
11.
dangerous psychopaths on the clackety-clackety inter-worldwide web. So, to protect your booty cheeks
12.
online, you need to get yourself a very large caliber. Yes, Mr. NordVPN. It's actually all good. NordVPN will look after you.
13.
NordVPN is the online service keeping you safe on the internet. With a single click, your IP address is hidden,
14.
and you can be in any country you want to be. Anywhere in the world. It's like you're
15.
teleporting virtually. It's pretty cool. And with my special link, that is nordvpn.com/thatchapter, you can get a deal that is just for you. Specifically, you.
17.
Watching this video right now. That is a mega
Oh,
discount
shit, it
on a
is.
2-year plan,
Okay.
and also 1 month free. And not only that, to commemorate NordVPN's 11th birthday, for a limited time only, you will also receive an additional mystery gift on top.
19.
Bonus gift? Actually, I've decided I don't want to do this for you anymore. No, it's too good for you. I'm keeping this all
20.
for myself. But I suppose it's fine. Jeez, I'll let you in on it. And let's not forget to mention Nord's Threat Protection,
21.
where you are safer than ever before against any kind of malicious websites, those pop-up ads that annoy the heckin' heck out of you,
22.
and trackers that are following you all across the web. It's like wearing an invisibility cloak,
23.
mixed with Iron Man's suit of armor, mixed with
24.
whatever Avenger can teleport, mixed with some pretty cool shades. Use my link, that's
Can any of the Avengers teleport?
NordVPN.com/thatchapter to get an exclusive NordVPN deal. Thank you again, Daddy NordVPN. Now let's get back into it. He was interviewed by the police that night.
Did you arrange to have your wife killed? No, I did not. I'll put it this way too. I mean, if anything happens to her, that's one of the things I was thinking about on the way over here. Is like, what the hell am I going to do now? I mean, me battling for custody. Me battling for custody was also relying on her to be paying me child support at $600 to $700 a month. Why does she want a divorce?
3.
I guess to sum it up, basically, there was no romance and affection in our marriage. It was more like, I mean, I loved her, I provided for her, took care of her and everything, but
Yeah, same, J.
I
Rizel.
guess we just weren't in love with each other, And whereas to me, I was able to handle it. And
X-Men is
I
way
guess
better
told her
than
about
the fucking
COVID,
Avengers.
which
I am
maybe
Macho.
marriage was far from the worst. She wanted to find somebody to put her on the pedestal and file for divorce.
Farrah really must have taken a dump in his mouth for the amount of shit he's speaking.
6.
Who hates your wife enough to kill her? Nobody I can think of.
7.
I mean, I can't think of anybody that hates her. What's wrong with this picture?
8.
Your wife lives in an above average neighborhood. pretty middle income neighborhood. I know for a fact the houses go from probably 90 to 150,000. Very little happens out there. I know that for a fact. And your wife is shot out of the clear blue as she's in the garage. Nothing's taken from her.
Says the rogue simp naturally.
For no reason.
X-Men is way better, but Doctor Strange is still my favorite. I think that's fair.
It's kind of hot.
You're right. And I don't know what to say.
I'll be right.
The next morning, Bobby was released, very happy to see the media yapping away.
Not at all. Never had this before. I didn't get to make any phone calls. I didn't get fed until 2 o'clock. I've been under their detention since 9:30 last night. I was beat. So this has not been a very pleasant experience. Yes, ma'am.
14.
Probably not. No. I mean, they hit you, chest and kick you in the legs and stuff like that. One of the sergeants. The only sergeant that was on duty yesterday morning. I asked for a superior officer, but I didn't get one. I was handcuffed to a chair.
16.
I cooperated fully. I was handcuffed tight. My hand was turning blue. I mean, this was pretty ridiculous. And like I said, I'm willing to cooperate fully with everything.
Why do you think they believe you did it?
18.
Well, if I got shot, I'm sure Farr would be the suspect for that. I mean, that to me is natural. I was totally understanding about that. I mean, I would suspect myself too if I was doing an investigation. That's only natural. I hope they find the guy.
20.
And the investigation into Farr's murder continued. The police were full sure Bob was involved in some capacity. But his alibi was as tight as words I can't say on YouTube. He was definitely at the nearby Catholic church with his 3 children. He was seen there. He was there at the exact time his wife was being killed. And so the police began following him, and I mean everywhere, and especially at the gym. There they learned he'd been speaking to some gym buddies about, quote, knocking her off. Now, they thought he was just bullshitting and had no idea why his breath stank so bad. But then, when it actually happens, apparently he said this to over 24 people, and he kept a list of her daily activities. He even mentioned hiring someone, but they just thought it was locker room talk, just guys being dudes. And everyone liked him. They just thought he was blowing off steam. And police learned that when he was in the church at the time Farrah was killed, many people remember him being on the church phone a lot. They would remember that as, during the service he would keep running off, and his beeper, remember them, that kept buzzing, so he had to keep using the church phone. What happened then was the police found a notebook in Bob's car, and in that notebook they found the name and number of one Mary Gipp. It turned out that Bob and Mary had been in communication a lot, the night of the murders. Now, who was she?
2.
Well, she didn't really give the police anything. But what was even more important was her boyfriend, a Joseph Prystash,
3.
ex-con, and he worked out with Bob at the gym a lot. Police began to think he may have been the real killer, but they had nothing to go
4.
on. Joe Prystash himself was a former cop, rumored to be involved in murder for hires. But at the time they were getting nowhere. That was until they dragged Mary before a grand jury to subpoena her. I think they were threatening her with charging her with murder, although I'm not exactly sure what they would have to charge her with murder with, you know what I mean? But maybe just threatening her, but it got her to talk and start telling a story. She talked in exchange for immunity. She said her boyfriend, Joseph, had been hired by Bob to help set up the murder, and that Joseph hired a neighbor of his, a kid, 18-year-old Howard Guidry, to be the trigger man. Howard would get $1,000. Joe Prystash would drive Howard to the murder scene, pick him up afterwards, and use Mary's cell phone to tell Bob Fratta when it was done. It was all planned that Bob would be at the church at the time. And Mary, for some kind of odd reason what was going on in her noggin, I do not know, but she, after the murder, she saw the murder weapon and she managed to write down the serial number of that particular handgun. Now, I'm not sure if she knew what was going to happen, that it would come into useful in a situation exactly like this. Who knows? That murder weapon was traced back to a purchase made by Robert Fratta back in 1982. And the funny thing was, the police also had the murder weapon and Howard Guidry already in custody. On the 1st of March 1995, Howard Guidry was arrested after a bank robbery, and he had the murder weapon on him. So, when the police caught up with him, it didn't take long for him to crack and tell the story, even showing police around the exact scene it all happened.
Whenever I was finished, when you were finished, what do you refer to when you finish? Whenever I killed the girl. Colin, he'll be waiting by this time. And that's basically it for here. But, he called Bob, and Bob was at church with his children.
Where'd you get the pistol
from?
From Joe?
I got
20.
From Joe. Howard, just like before, I'd like for to read this to you. Tell me that you understand everything.
Pale Voyager.
You have the right
Thank
to
you
remain
so much for
silent
the
and not make
raid.
any statement at all, that any
Everybody
statement
go
you make
follow
may be
Pale
used
Voyager
against
for
you
real,
and
if
probably
you
will
like
be
video
used
game
against you for trial. You
content
understand that?
and fun,
Any statement
charming
you make may be
boys.
used as evidence against you in court. You understand that? Yes, sir. You have the right to have a lawyer present to advise you prior to and during any questioning. You understand that?
This goes.
Okay. Do you wish to talk to us? Yes, sir. Okay.
I'll stop here about
Yeah, welcome,
3,
Raiders.
5:30.
My name is Doxy.
6.
If you don't know me, I'm a garbage person.
And,
We're
from
crocheting
here,
a
to
fun
across.
surprise present for
Sure,
a
let's
friend.
And I walked up to right here.
And right now I'm just trying to get the height of
stood
the
right
top hat
here,
right. I feel like this is
38 in my hand.
perfect. What do you guys think?
And I waited for somebody to
Does that
come
seem
over.
right?
Nobody came, but I heard noise.
I think it does.
So I creeped around like this. And I checked the door.
Doxy's our
but it
creature of the
was
night.
locked from the
Indeed.
outside.
Love it. Good height.
I had the gun in my hand. When she did
I
like
think it
this,
looks right. I think it
pulled
looks
the
good.
gun up and I shot her once in
Looks
the head.
proportional. Excellent.
And
Okay.
She like fell to the side.
So now we have to go into the front loops only to make the flap come out. And then we'll
As I
just
started to run out,
we'll do that, and then we
wasn't
also
really
need to do
dead,
one more
so I turned
increase
around.
row, which will be on the
I closed
5s
my eyes,
instead
and
of
I
on the
shot her one more
4s.
time in the head.
Bob had approached at least 7 different people, asking them,
Hi, lover. I love
going
you.
for you,
You want a cinnamon roll?
shooting the
Yep.
shit. You
Sure do.
kill my wife? Would you
Thanks, babe.
kill my
I thought
would
I
you kill my wife?
smelled something amazing.
That was cinnamon.
Yes, no.
I was
maybe?
wondering if maybe it was just babe.
Okay, thanks. Alright, that's one for every day of the week. I would have trouble asking 7 different people for a loan of €10, but here we are. Bob also, just a couple of days before
Doxy the
murders, he
human
could get a-
translation we make in a little hat. True. Did you freehand this? It looks awesome. Okay, so I took
worth almost
a
$250,000 because of course he did. Joe Price-Dash was also arrested. And
a pattern
confessed.
for a little
And shortly
ghost.
after, Bob Prada was arrested too.
Ugh.
He was not.
There was a
so
pattern for a
popular,
little ghost and a pattern for a teddy bear, and I kind of mishmashed them.
Bob cared
And
a lot
there's
about
a
his
lot
image.
of
He was
like
beefed
my
up,
own
sure.
little
So
touches
when
on
negative
it, so
things,
it's kind of
about Bob were gonna
a
come out,
Frankenstein pattern.
Well, that was not on his menu. He was not going to pick from that menu.
But thank you.
But it sure as
I
shit
am.
was on his
I'm
menu
very
now.
proud of
All
it.
true
I
men,
can't
Bob,
wait to
Joe,
give it
and
to him. I
Howard
hope he
found
loves
guilty
it.
Of murder, and all
I'll
would be
feel like a
sentenced
real
to death.
dick if he doesn't.
Lost some of his swagger.
I'm trying to decide whether or not to give it arms. I think I
jury
should.
decided he's guilty of
Chat
arranging
said
the murder of his estranged
that
wife.
it makes sense
glad.
not to.
Justice has prevailed. Freedom has prevailed.
The victim's family wept when the verdict was read. So did Frada's family. The defendant
Ooh, that's
only
honestly what I'm
stared at the
aspiring
table
to.
in
I'm
front of him.
only a couple months into the craft. You'll get there. Just stick with it. Practice every day.
That'll be justice for me. I know for myself he's gone.
A thing that I wish that I had done when I
However,
was first starting
13
out
years
is
after
granny
this case
squares.
began, the judge
Do
threw
granny
out Bob's
squares.
conviction. See, both Howard and Joe would withdraw their confessions, saying they had been coerced, but both had been allowed into evidence.
You would do
So,
arms?
Bob went on trial once again in 2009.
I kinda want to.
He was found
I
guilty
kinda wanna
once
do
again
arms.
and sentenced to death.
Really? Why that specifically? Because
We, the
it's
jury,
really.
find the defendant
Hold on, I'm
Robert
going to pause
Allen
and talk to you
Frada
about this for a
guilty of
second.
capital murder as charged in-
Because especially if you do like the same granny square a lot of the times, you're going to really get to know the anatomy of stitches. They also, yes, they do practice the magic circle. And like having that same consistent thing to view your progress on tension and stuff is going to be really, really nice. Even if you undo them to reuse the yarn to keep doing them over and over again, you can always take pictures so that you can see what it looked like. But I highly recommend doing Like finding like 3 or 4 granny squares that you really like and practice doing one of those every day. That's what I would do if I was you. If I could go back in time and relearn, because I am completely self-taught. And as it sounds like you are, it doesn't seem like somebody is teaching you. That's legit what I've been doing when I'm not. Thank you.
That's for you.
Thank you, honey. When I'm not working on projects, messing around with different yarn sizes and hook sizes to get the tension. Yeah, of course, Hoey, of course. I can't really eat this yet, and there is no room on my desk for it. I shouldn't have had him give me this. Well, we only have 3 minutes left of this video, which is the end of stream. So maybe we just call the project here. And I can just full screen the video and we can finish it. This is good. And then I'll get this resin cast, and on Tuesday we'll hopefully fucking finish this thing. Do you have a crochet section in your Discord? There's a few. There's a few.
In the indictment signed by the foreman.
All 3 men were sentenced to death. His appeals went nowhere, and neither did Bob.
Are you involved in it, or do you deny being involved? I would like to hear from you.
Yeah, sure. I had nothing to do with my wife's death at all. I've been professing my innocence from the onset.
Can you see yourself in the death house in Huntsville?
No, not at all.
It's completely off your mind.
It's not even on there, no. It won't happen.
Until January 2023, when his death sentence was carried out. 65-year-old Bob received the lethal injection at 7:25 p.m. and he died 24 minutes later. When asked if he had any final statement, he said no.
Ferrata did not make a last statement. He stared straight ahead at the ceiling and did not acknowledge the victim's witnesses at all.
He still was a coward tonight when he was offered an opportunity to at least extend an olive branch to his son.
The other 2 are still on death row as of filming this video. And so ends the story of Robert Ferrata, the story of a narcissist who had some odd enjoyments that he definitely didn't want in public. He cared about his image, literally, too. He spent a lot of time in the gym where he asked somebody to help him out. He didn't care too much about when it finally was carried out, until it was finally carried out on him. Thank you so much for watching.
I don't think that the death sentence is a satisfying end to any story.
If you want
we
some
should
more of that
abolish
chapter,
it.
please check out the That Chapter podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. You'll find the That Chapter podcast. It's good to get episodes into it now, and the reaction has been incredible. So thank you all so much for the love you've shown. It means the world to me. And by the way, there are so many scams going on right now on all platforms, but especially YouTube. So if you ever leave a comment on any of my videos, I'm sure a lot of you guys are going to be aware of this. You'll receive a comment of someone who's claiming to be me. They'll have like the name will be like that chapter with like an X or something at the end of it. Their profile picture will be me saying you've won some sort of competition. Now, I've blocked about, I'd say 100 of these accounts, but still new ones keep popping up. It's not me. If I ever reply to a comment on YouTube, my one will have a little tick beside it.
Okay, I don't think that any of us need
I have
this.
never had a competition.
Okay, we're gonna call it. Everybody hang tight. We're gonna find somebody fun to raid. I'm gonna run ads because Twitch makes me. I'm very straight, but Mike is a fine man. He's very cute. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I love you guys. Join the Discord if you want. Follow me on Twitter if you want. Take a look at my throne if you want. And that'll do it. We'll see you Tuesday. Thanks for hanging out. Have a good one, y'all.